Hello YouTube! I promised a video on the new god yesterday in the patch notes video, and today I am delivering. We're going to be talking about Hachiman today. He is the new Japanese hunter, Lord of the 8 Banners. Let's get right into it. His passive here is Master of Arms. Hachiman grows stronger as he lands his blows. This is slightly misleading. He does not grow any stronger, he doesn't get any power, he doesn't do any extra damage at all. He just gets MP5, which is nice, especially in early game, but his passive just seems odd for a hunter, an auto attack based hunter to have. But yeah, it stacks that 8 times, lasts 8 seconds, and he gets just a little bit of MP5. What this does in game is it kind of means you can go multi-pots instead of mana pots, so you have a little bit more health sustain in lane. And with his Eagle Eye, once you hit level 2, is going to be fine. So you're just going to be able to poke a lot better than the other hunter is. That being said, your clear is not great, but we'll get into that once we get to his clear ability. Eagle Eye does it makes his basic attacks longer. It gives them a little bit of bonus damage, but the bonus damage is negligible. It's almost not worth mentioning. They are not like a Rama shot. They don't go through. This is not your clear ability. This is just a longer basic attack. That is all. It can crit, but they are pretty hard to hit at long range. They move the same speed as a basic attack, but like 1.5 times longer. It doesn't actually tell you how much longer the basic attacks are. It just says beyond 55 units. They are not infinite. But yeah, they're pretty easy to dodge. They don't give any extra damage. They're just basically for poke or hitting someone when they're running away. And that's pretty much it. Cool ability. It feels nice to use, but it's not a strong ability, I wouldn't say. His 2 is his clear. It's kind of like an Artemis 3. He calls down, it's not technically a circle, it's an octagon because he is Lord of the 8 Banners. He calls down a banner, dealing damage, and then when you're inside that range, when you're inside that shit. When you're inside that octagon, you get increased attack speed as well as your allies, but the bonus attack speed at level 1 is 5%, almost not worth it, and even at the max rank of it, it is 15%, which doesn't do a whole lot, honestly. It does 85 damage, which is not the best for a hunter's level 1 clear. Like a Neath or something, I think does 100. So it already does less damage. It's also decently hard to hit all 6 minions. It's not a large ability. I compared it to Artemis 3, and I'm going to do so again. Artemis kind of has to like group up the minions and hit them before they start shooting at something in order to hit all 6 of them, and he kind of has to do the same thing. If they don't get messed up at all and they just meet minions without anyone shooting at anything, then he can hit all 6, but it's not the easiest thing to do. Yeah, it just kind of feels like a weak ability. His clear isn't great with it. His bonus attack speed isn't fantastic, and it's pretty small. So I don't know. I think this ability is gonna have to get a little bit of a buff. His dash, in my opinion, is the coolest part of his kit. Although I like ninjas, but I mean, who doesn't like ninjas? He dashes forward. The targeter kind of looks like Kernanos 2, but you can go through things, so it doesn't get shorter as you get closer. However, it is pretty short itself, so it it's a pretty small targeter. But he dashes and then swings in 360 around him. If you hit the enemy with both the dash and the swing around, which is not super easy to do, but you'll get rewarded by a stun, which gives you enough time. I think it's a 1-second stun. That does not scale. You get enough time for one basic attack. What I have found it most useful for in my time playing him is interruption. Like a Guan Yu 3, you can interrupt that. So it's also not the best escape ability since it's so short. It is quite quick, but it's quite short, so you're not going to be escaping a whole lot of things with it. His ult is one of the coolest abilities in Smite. One of the coolest ultimates in Smite, I guess I can say. He gets on a horse quite like Guan Yu, and the interesting part about this is that the part where you control your horse and the controls where you control what you're shooting at are different. So you can run away while aiming behind you or to the side of you, and it's going to take some getting used to for most people, but I think it's a super cool concept, having two separate things to control at the same time. It's going to be a fairly high skill cap ability. It's not great with damage though. His scaling on it, if I remember correctly, is 95%, which is not the highest scaling on an ability, but he is an auto attack based hunter, so this just seems kind of a little bit out of place, unless they could like crit or something, but that would be really weird since crit is on a percent chance and this only gets a one shot. I've also heard rumors, and this is a bug and will probably be fixed, and I don't even know if it's true. I just heard rumors that the slow CDs itself, even though it's only one instance of slow, it somehow makes itself shorter by the process of diminishing returns. So we'll see if that's an actual thing and if it gets fixed. Cooldown 90 seconds, standard ult cooldown. So overall, he has a couple abilities like his ult and his passive that just seem a little odd with the rest of his kit. Heavenly Banner seems quite weak, and Eagle Eye's bonus damage is basically nothing, so we'll see how that works out. This is his recolor. I don't have a card art for you, but I can show it to you in game. This is his normal skin as you saw earlier. I can also show that to you in game. There is a card art for this. So with that, I will meet you guys in game. I'm going to swap over here to the PTS, and I'll see you there. Hello guys. Alright, so I tried queuing for a Conquest game, but I was in queue for almost 20 minutes, and I said maybe next time. So unfortunately, we're just going to be a jungle practice today.
Hachiman.
Here's a look at the base skin in game here, and we're going to be going into the practice with the recolor. Let's lock in here. And here's the recolor here. White aquamarine green-ish? No, I don't know if that's the color. That's what I'm going to call it. Aquamarine-ish. Alright, so level 1, I feel like you're forced to go Bluestone because his
Minions have spawned.
2 is 85 damage, rank 1. I feel like you want to go Death Stoll because, I mean, he's a basic attack based god. You can see here, it's difficult to hit all of the minions. And this, there's that ability. There's just 2. I'll show you the difference in basic attack speed here. Here's his regular, and then if we throw that down, it's basically the same speed. It's only 5%, so that's expected, but it just feels quite weak. Let's get some levels here so we can see all of his other abilities. There we go. And throw another one into the 2. Alright, so his 1 is just going to be a nice little targeter, shows you how far it goes. It's a little bit bugged because obviously I'm not going to hit this Odin. You can see there I am, there I'm not. Unless that's... Oh, okay, the targeter's a little bugged that if you're going to hit something it should light up red like normal. But you can see how slow those move. They're pretty easy to dodge, like I said. But kind of a cool ability. It doesn't give a ton of extra range. So let's test the actual extra here. There we go. There's max range, and that goes just a little bit farther. You can see it right behind him there. So it's not a whole lot of extra range actually, and the bonus damage doesn't actually do anything. Right there, the difference in bonus damage. Damage within 55, 10, damage beyond 55, 0. You saw that they were both the exact same damage number. Let's back up. Max range here, 62. Well within 55, 62. So bonus damage, like I said, is negligible. In fact, it's not even there. I don't know if that's a bug, because it should be dealing 72-ish based on protections, which I don't think the level 1 Odin bot has any protections. His 3, since I already showed you his 2, is, like I said, a pretty short dash. Looks really cool, and like I said, if you get someone with both of them, that little area there, where Odin is that little area, it will stun them for 1 second, give you a chance for 1 basic attack, and then they can move again. Not the best ability, not a long dash, not damaging. It isn't good CC, it's just a little bit. That's not super easy to hit, especially if people are moving around. It is pretty quick though. It's actually pretty lenient. And then for his ult, it's you pop on a horse, you can look sideways, without the horse changing direction very much, at least. If you look all the way one way, it will change direction in that direction. Like if you look all the way to the right, the horse will start drifting right. Here, I'll show you, my hand's not on the keyboard, and I can turn the horse a little bit. Not a whole lot. If I were to press the A button, I can do big circles. So it's separate. They're separate from each other. So you pop on the horse, you can just throw your shot while you keep going this way. So it's a cool ability. It's going to take some getting used to. I think the skill cap on it is probably the highest skill cap in his kit. We'll see if the damage numbers on it are increased. Like I said, it deals a pretty small amount of damage. Those numbers look pretty high, but late game he feels like he's balanced around late game. He feels like he's a later game hunter, but his ult doesn't really do a whole lot late game. The 45% slow is nice, but at the moment at least, with getting used to the whole two things to control at once and then hopping off
You will not escape my justice.
is just a little odd. So overall, I think is a really cool design. He's gonna need some buffs. He's not like RDO, where she came out OP as all get out. And I think part of the reason that he's not is that they wanted to avoid another RDO, another Kernanos.
Flank them.
Roz is taking it like a champ.
First blood.
You can also, I should mention, you can cancel your one if you don't want to use all your shots for some reason. There's really no reason not to use all your shots, since it's just a basic attack. But you can activate it. It's activated. I have 2 more shots, but I can just right click and cancel it. Not super impactful, not super important, but figured I'd mention it. Anyways, guys, that's gonna do it for this video on Hachiman. Yeah, he's a cool designed god, but I don't think his damage numbers are high enough. We'll have to wait and see in game. This does not target minions, if you were wondering. So yeah, have a nice day.